Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, as you know that in our previous session, we discussed on consumer behavior. We tried to understand about the various aspects of consumer behavior, what consumer behavior is, what is its meaning, what is the scope and the concept behind the consumer behavior, as well as other various aspects were covered in the previous session. Dear friends, in this session also we are going to talk on consumer behavior, and specifically we are going to talk about role of advertising and marketing in consumer behavior. As you know that consumer behavior that is a part of our important series on marketing management. We hope that you would be liking today's lecture also, because for this discussion once again we have with us in our studios Dr. Subhash Kakkar. Dr. Kakkar is coordinating this entire series, and so far he has conducted numerous sessions on marketing management. As I already said that we have discussed a lot on consumer behavior. We would be continuing further from the point where we left in our previous session and would be discussing on it. So without wasting any time, I would like to welcome our guest Dr. Subhash Kakkar, under whose guidance we are going to understand about consumer behavior. Hello sir, welcome to the EduSet lecture.
Thank you and welcome viewers to today's lecture. Today's lecture is on consumer behavior, and it is part of our series of lectures on the subject marketing management. Today we are going to cover consumer behavior in a broader spectrum. We will cover most of the aspects which are related to marketing when we talk about consumer behavior. We will start our discussion with brief scope of psychological factors affecting consumer behavior. Then we will proceed on to discuss the role of marketing in consumer behavior, the role of advertising in consumer behavior, and role of family in consumer behavior. We will also discuss what is status consumption and why it is important for marketers of premium goods. We are to discuss in depth the scope and the importance of consumer behavior in our marketing function, so that we are able to satisfy the customers and we can increase our market share. So we are going to start with consumer behavior. Factors affecting consumer behavior. In our last lecture, we discussed many factors which are responsible for different consumer behavior, and today we are going to spend some time on the psychological factors affecting consumer behavior. Consumer behavior deals with the study of buying behavior of consumers. Let us understand the effect of psychological factors on consumer behavior. And these psychological factors will start with motivation. Say for example, X went to a nearby restaurant and ordered pizza for herself or himself. Why did X buy pizza? Answer is, he or she was feeling hungry and wanted to eat something. In the above example, hunger was the motivating factor for X to purchase pizza. There are several other factors which motivate individuals to purchase products and services. An individual who is thirsty would definitely not mind spending on soft drinks, packaged water, juice, and so on. Recognition and self-esteem also influence the buying decision of individuals. And so there are so many factors which influence the purchase of goods or services. So we are going to discuss all those factors. Why do people wear branded clothes? It's a very valid question. When they can meet their requirement with ordinary clothes, why people buy branded clothes? Individuals prefer to spend on premium brands and unique merchandise for others to look up to them. certain products become their status symbol and people know them by their choice of picking up products that are exclusive in nature. An individual who wears an imported watch would never purchase a local watch, as this would be against his image. So, now we are talking about the image of a consumer or a customer. A consumer is particularly thinking about his image in public. He has formed a certain image in the eyes of his friends, relatives, and the society. He wants to maintain that image. So, if he is buying exclusive products for his personal use, he will keep on buying those exclusive products for his use. He will not compromise with lower quality products or cheaper products, because he has made a certain image in the eyes of the people surrounding him. So, perception. What is perception? What an individual thinks about a particular product or service is his or her perception towards the same. For someone, a particular laptop might be the best laptop, while for others it could be just one of the best brands available. Perception is also very important when we talk about the consumer behavior. Different customers, different consumers perceive a certain product or a service in a different way. They have their own requirements, they have their own needs, and the product which they are using fulfills their needs in a particular way. So, they perceive the things and services in their own way. Individuals with the same needs might not purchase similar products due to difference in perception. X and Y had a hectic day at work and thus wanted to have something while returning from work. X ordered a large chicken pizza with French fries and soft drink, while Y preferred a baked vegetable sandwich. Again, it is perception. People perceive a product differently, and that perception is different, then the needs what the product is fulfilling will also be different. So, perception plays an important role. For fulfilling the need of a consumer, the consumer will buy one product, the other consumer will buy a different product, because they are perceiving the product in a different view altogether. Though both X and Y had the same motivation, hunger, but the products they purchased were entirely different. As X perceived pizza to be a calorie-laden food, individuals think differently and their perceptions do not match. Individuals perceive similar situation differently due to difference in the way they interpret information. Reason for different perception is information is given to the consumers. They receive the information, but they read the information in a different context. That is why the perception of consumers regarding a particular product or service is different. There are three different processes which lead to difference in perception. Selective attention. Selective attention refers to the process where individuals pay attention to information that is of use to them or their immediate family members. An individual in a single day is exposed to numerous advertisements, billboards, hoardings, etc., but he is interested in only those which could benefit him in any way. He would not be interested in information which is not relevant at the moment. Information is given to everyone, every customer, but people see the information in a different scope altogether. Some people are interested in the information given to them and some people are not interested in the information given to them. So, they retain and they see the information in their own interest and in their own way, because lot of information is given in the TV news, TV channels, hoardings, billboards, etc. But everyone does not perceive the information in the same way, and depending upon the interest of the person in a particular information, the retaining power also changes. So, selective distortion is the second. Consumers tend to perceive information in a way which would be in line to their existing thoughts and beliefs. The consumers have their own individual thoughts and beliefs, and they want the information as per their own thoughts and beliefs, and the information which is aligned with their own thoughts and beliefs will make an impact on the consumer, but all other information will be useless for the consumer. So, the consumers receive information, they perceive information, they retain information depending upon their own interest, belief and thoughts. Selective retention is the third part. Consumers remember information which would be useful to them. Rest all they forget in due course of time. Somebody wanted to purchase a watch for his wife, and thus he remembered a particular advertisement which he had seen several days ago. Again, this example also shows that we retain the information in which we are interested. We will ignore the information where we are not interested at all. Example is given. We wanted to buy a watch and we had seen its advertisement a few days back, and we have retained that advertisement in our mind because we want to purchase a similar product for which we have received the information. So, our interest is the main criteria for looking at the information and then retaining the information in our mind. And one more thing is there, people say that their memory is weak, but the people who have weak memory, they also remember some of the things forever, and these things which they memorize forever are the things in which they are interested. So, our interest is an important factor which make us look at the information and retain the information. Learning comes only through experience. An individual comes to know about a product and service only after he or she uses the same. An individual who is satisfied with a particular product service will show a strong inclination towards buying the same product again. Here consumer behavior and the experience comes into picture. Consumer behavior is formed by the experience he has by using a product or service. If he is satisfied with the product, he will like to buy the product again and again, and he will also buy the product made by the same company if he likes the product, but he will not like to buy the product if he is not satisfied with the performance of the product. Then his own experience with the use of the product or service now plays an important role. Beliefs and attitude. Beliefs and attitude play an essential role in influencing the buying decision of consumers. Individuals create a certain image of every product or service available in the market. Every brand has an image attached to it, also called its brand image. So, beliefs and attitudes regarding a particular product or a service, and then the brand attached to that product plays an important role. We have an attitude, we have a belief for a particular brand name. If we are satisfied with the brand name, we will try to buy the products produced by the same brand again and again, because these are governed by our belief and our attitude. Consumers purchase products, services based on their opinions, which they form towards a particular product or service. A product might be really good, but if the consumer feels it is useless, he would never buy it. again it depends upon the interest of the consumer in a particular product. A product is very useful, but the consumer has used it and he has found that it is a useless item for him. When he has declared it useless, he will not buy it again. So, he will not buy in future if he is not satisfied with the product once he has used. So, now we are going to discuss role of consumer behavior in marketing. Marketing is a vast field and consumer behavior has an impact on marketing. So, we are to discuss now role of consumer behavior in marketing function. Consumer behavior refers to the study of buying tendencies of consumers. This is a basic definition of consumer behavior. An individual who goes for shopping does not necessarily end up buying products. And what is the reason he is not buying the product? The basic thing behind it, consumer behavior. He is not satisfied with the product available in the market. That is why he is not buying the product. There are several stages a consumer goes through before he finally picks up things available in the market. Various factors, be it cultural, social, personal or psychological, influence the buying decision of individuals. So, all these factors influence the buying decision of any consumer, and these factors are social, cultural and personal, and these can also be psychological factors, and these factors influence the buying decision of any customer or any consumer. Marketers need to understand the buying behavior of consumers for their products to do well. So, now we can say that it is really important for marketers to understand what prompts a consumer to purchase a particular product and what stops him from buying. Here, now we can understand there are two things. One is consumer buys a product and the other statement is consumer does not buy a product. Now we are pretty sure what are the factors which influence the buying decision of any consumer, why he buys a product and why he does not buy a product. What marketers need to understand? The psychology of consumers, what they feel about a particular product and their brand on the whole, and how consumers are influenced by their immediate surroundings, family members, friends, co-workers and so on. So, this is very important to know the consumer behavior. What they feel about any product depends upon the consumer behavior and the individual behavior of a customer. So, what are the things which are important, whether it is the income or surplus income, need, social status, what is important, which drives the consumer to go to the market and buy a certain product. What a consumer thinks when he goes out for shopping, what his psychology says when he goes to the market. A marketer needs to first identify his target consumers and understand their lifestyles, psychologies, income, spending capabilities, mentalities to offer them the right product. And now this depends upon number of things we have discussed: psychology of a person, marketing or purchasing capability of the consumer, his own income, his family background, his demographic background. All these factors are responsible for deciding whether to purchase a product or not purchase a product. Individuals from lower income group would never be interested in buying expensive and luxurious products. He would first fulfill his basic psychological needs like food, air, water, etc. Trying to sell expensive car or a watch to someone who finds it difficult to make ends meet would definitely be a disaster. Here the responsibility of marketers is to see the purchasing capability of the consumers. If the consumer is not capable enough to afford the price of a certain product, so it is useless selling the product to him, because he will not buy the product if he is not capable to buy it. So, when we want to sell the product to the consumer, we must see his capability, his interest in the product, so that we do the necessary things and the essential things only to the consumer who has a potential to buy the product. So, expensive breakfast as offered by some companies would hardly find any takers in the low income group. In this segment, individuals would be more interested in buying fresh food, vegetables, pulses which are necessary for their survival rather than spending on health supplement. Here we are discussing certain products which are premium products, and these products are expensive in nature and only high income group people can afford these products. These are like breakfasts, which are supplementary food products, and these will be afforded only by high income group, and we cannot sell these kind of products to the low income group people because they hardly have surplus money to buy these products, because they will spend the money, they will spend their income on routine requirements. They will not go in for premium products which are costly in nature and require lot of funds to purchase. It is really essential for the marketers to understand the need of customers, find out what they are actually looking for. There are ideally two different ways which enable marketers to understand their consumers. There are two researches available. One is primary research and other is secondary research. Primary research. Primary research refers to a research methodology where marketers interact with consumers directly and gather as much information as they can. Information is generally collected through surveys, questionnaires, feedback forms, interviews, etc. On the other hand, secondary research often refers to relying on information which has been collected by others at some point of time. Here we have discussed two types of researches. One is primary research, other is secondary research. Primary data and secondary data. For making any opinion, we must make some research, we must get some data. One method is get primary data. Primary data is data which are collected by the individual's efforts. He prepares his own questionnaires, he prepares his own questions to be answered by consumers. He will have his own interviews with the consumers and he'll find data and then finally he'll analyze the data. Secondary data is through secondary research. Under this method, whatever information is available which is given by other people have done some research and they have given that information. If you start making use of that available data, these available data can be made available through magazines, through newspapers, through research papers, through internet, etc. If you make use of these kind of sources of data, then this is called secondary data or secondary research. So, these two research methods are used for making analysis of the consumer behavior. The background and family status of an individual also influence his or her buying behavior. Selling a laptop to an individual who is not much educated would be pointless. Remember, consumers would show interest in your products only if they are of any use to them or their immediate family members. A low-grade worker would never be interested in purchasing business suits or formal shirts. Here we are to see the behavior of a consumer. Now we are discussing the income of a customer. If he is in the low income bracket, he will not like to buy expensive products like expensive suits, expensive watches, expensive cars for transportation. He will rather like to spend his income on his necessity and not on luxurious items. Canned juices are a hit among middle and higher income group where individuals are really conscious about their health and fitness. Individuals who live hand to mouth would never spend on sugar-free tablets, health supplements, or for that matter, diet soft drinks. It is also important to give complete information to end users. Do not hide anything from them. It is not ethical. All tobacco products come with a warning. Individuals should be familiar with not only the benefits but also the side effects of the products. Now we are going to discuss. Marketers must also take into account demographic reasons, age group of consumers, geographical location, lifestyle of consumers, and social status of consumers. Funky designs, loud colors would be a hit among teenagers, whereas middle-aged and elderly people would prefer subtle colors and sophisticated design. Salwar suits are extremely popular in North India, whereas females prefer saris and skirt blouses in eastern and southern parts of India. Here again we are discussing the interests of the consumers. Now the demographic reasons also dictate a particular interest embedded in the minds of consumers. Consumers belonging to the north have their specific tastes, they will not like to change their tastes, and the consumers belonging to the east will have a different taste, consumer belonging to south will also have different traditions and the taste. Based on their own traditions and the taste, they will like a product, they will like to buy a product. Individuals from posh localities and good jobs would show keen interest towards buying exclusive and unique products as compared to individuals who do not come from an affluent background. Here again, the locality where we stay, the people with whom we stay also dictate the buying decision of the consumers. If we are staying in a posh locality, we will try to follow the people staying in that locality. We will try to copy them, we will try to buy expensive clothes and expensive articles. Now we are going to discuss role of consumer behavior in advertising. Marketers need to understand the buying behavior of consumers while designing their advertisements for the desired impact. Advertisements play an essential role in creating an image of a product in the minds of consumers. Advertisements must be catchy and communicate relevant information to consumers. Here again, the interest of the consumer plays an important role. An advertisement will have impact on the consumers if they are interested in that particular product. Again, we will have the same discussion regarding income, regarding education. If people are not educated, they will not like to have new kind of products which are coming into the market. First, they must get education required for the product or regarding the product, they must be educated. Only then we must show the advertisement. Like in the case of cell phones, when these cell phones came into the market, lot of time was spent by cell phone companies in educating the people that cell phones are also available and they are much more useful than the landline phones. A lot of time was utilized in educating the customers, and finally these cell phones were launched by cell phone companies. Understanding the needs of the consumer is really important when it comes to creating the right advertisement for the right audience. Remember, it is only through advertisements individuals are able to connect with your brand. So, one has to understand the basic fact that advertisement is the only way, only media, only means by which we connect the product with the consumers. By means of the advertisement, we tell the consumers the features of the product, the shape of the product, the uses of the product, and finally the price of the product. Without advertisement, I don't think it is possible to communicate regarding any product or service with the consumers. Identify your target audience. The advertisement in some way must touch the hearts of the end users for them to buy the product. It is really essential to show what the consumers like. Meet your target audience and find out what they expect from your product and brand on the whole. Here we must understand the audience. We must understand the audience behavior. We must understand the audience consumer behavior. Only then we must expose them to desired advertisement, giving them the right kind of information what they want. Here one has to exercise a research sort of thing to know the behavior of his targeted audience. He must know what is the interest of the audience, what sort of information through the advertisement will have maximum impact in the minds of the people and make them purchase the product. And that kind of advertisement should be made and given to the consumers, giving the features of the product and decided features which will make the consumers happy, and those features will prompt the consumers to buy the product. Do not show anything which might offend any religious group or community. Make sure the message is relevant and crisp. Overload of information nullifies the effect and the advertisement might go unnoticed. Don't try to confuse the consumers, they will never buy your product. Understand their psychologies well. Here, one lesson and a page from the experienced people's book must be retained, and that experience is your advertisement should be short and crisp. If it is lengthy, people will not retain it. If it is confusing, even then people will not retain the information given in the advertisement. So, your advertisement must be short and crisp, and finally, it should be liked by the people. The moment they see the initial part of the advertisement, and interest must be created in the minds of the people to see it further, to see in detail and to see the advertisement complete, so that they form their opinion regarding the product or service for which the advertisement is being given. The advertisement must show what the product is all about. It should in a way give some kind of information about its price, benefits, usage, availability and so on. Consumers perceive women breakfast products as advertised by some companies as a health and energy drink which is a must for all working women as well as expecting mothers for their overall well-being. Advertisement for such products with the male model does not make sense, as the target audience would never be able to connect with the product. A lean and inactive office going female and drinking women's health product and thereafter beaming with energy and confidence would be the ideal concept for the advertisement. Here we are discussing the advertisement concept in certain detail. And the lesson is, if the product is meant for women, we should show a woman model only to express the benefits of the product, because the product is basically for women and a woman can only convince the woman to buy the products. If we show some men using the woman product, it will be of no use and it will not have any impact on the minds of women. So, we must be careful in projecting our product and choosing a right concept and the right model to promote the product. So, we are going to now discuss advertisement and the role of consumer behavior in advertisement. Through advertisements, the company actually tries to win over the confidence of consumers who would not mind spending on their product. And it is the advertisement only through which a confidence is built in the minds of the consumers. If any fear is there, that is removed from the minds of people through advertisement. Advertisement will make the confidence in the minds of people. They will go and buy the product confidently to fulfill their needs, to fulfill their expectations. Advertisements of expensive products ought to be classy for people to recognize these products as status symbols. Use expensive props, unique concepts and well-known faces for all premium and exclusive brands. Now, on one side we have normal products and on the other side we have premium products. Premium products will be bought by exclusive people, high income group people, and to convince them we must have classy advertisements projected by brand ambassadors like sportsmen, film actors, etc., who will convince the premium brand of people, consumers, to buy the product. Advertisements meant for younger people like college goers, young professionals ought to be colorful and trendy for them to be able to relate themselves with the product. Serious advertisements do not go very well with the youngsters. It is essential to understand the mindsets, attitudes and preferences of target audience. Advertisements for insurance plans, medical benefits, hospitals ought to be sensible as they convey much serious information and target a mature segment of individuals altogether. There are certain products which are meant for old people, and old people are experienced people. They have seen their life. They will buy a product after knowing all the details of the product. And the advertisement must contain all the replies to the different queries what would be in the minds of the older people. So, we have to make advertisement as per the behavior of the people who are going to buy. We know that a particular product is going to be bought by young people. We should have the advertisement specifically for young people. We must know their interest and we must know their needs also, and we have to attack those interests and needs by satisfying them, by giving them a product so that they are satisfied. Similarly, the products which are exclusively used by older people, we should have the advertisement satisfying the queries of older people. Older people have lot of queries before they buy a product. If their queries, their questions, their doubts are satisfied, only then they buy the product. Otherwise, they will not try to spend their hard-earned money on a product which is not going to satisfy finally. So, the time slot of commercials needs to be taken care of depending upon the consumer behavior. Advertisements for products meant for children should ideally be aired during afternoon or early evening hours, as this is the time when they watch maximum television. We know that children go to their schools early in the morning and in the afternoon they come back, they take lunch and they switch on the TVs. That is the suitable time for giving ads on the TV channels which are meant for children. If we start giving ads for professionals and the professionals are not available in the afternoon because they go to their respective jobs and they are in their offices. So, advertisements meant for professionals must be given in the evenings only when they return from their specific jobs. Understand the lifestyle of your target audience. Prime time commercials are the ones which are viewed by maximum people. Choose the right theme for your advertisement. The advertisements ought to create the need among the consumers for them to buy the product. Commercials ought to give complete information to the consumers. All tobacco and alcohol commercials must show the warning message also. Here are certain hints which are given regarding airing any advertisement, and this advertisement must create a positive impact in the minds of the audience. If a product is not good for health, a message must be given on the packing or with the product that this is not good for health. Like tobacco products and the alcohol, a message must be given to warn the consumers regarding purchase and use of that product. Now, we are going to discuss role of family in consumer behavior. Family also has an important role in forming a particular opinion regarding the product. Forming a particular behavior of the consumer, family and its members play an important role. No two individuals have same buying preferences. The buying tendencies of individuals vary as per their age, need, income, lifestyle, geographical location, willingness to spend, family status and so on. An individual's immediate family members play an essential role in influencing her buying behavior. Now, we are going to discuss the role of family in framing a particular consumer behavior. His immediate family members play a vital role in forming this opinion. An individual tends to discuss with his immediate family members before purchasing a particular product or service. Family members might support an individual decision to buy a particular product, stop him for purchasing it or suggest few other opinions, because normally people discuss regarding purchase of a product specifically when it is costly with the members of the family which are close to us, and we give weightage to their opinion. They suggest to buy the product, they suggest not to buy the product, they also suggest go in for some other product. We give proper respect to their opinion and rather our opinion is formed with due discussion with the family members. Family comprises of parents, siblings, spouse, grandparents, relatives like cousins, aunts, uncles, etc. What an individual imbibes from his parents becomes his culture. In countries like India, where children are supposed to stay with their parents till the time they get married, the influence of parents on an individual's buying decision cannot be ignored. Again, now it depends upon the country to which the consumer belongs. The country culture plays an important role. The family keeps the children with the family if it is India. In most of the cases, till the marriage take place, the children stay with their parents. But in foreign countries, children move away from their parents when they start earning or when their schooling is over. So, different criteria is there depending upon the country to which the consumer belongs. So, if we are staying with our family members, we give importance to the opinion of the family members in purchasing a product. What he sees from his childhood becomes his habit, or in other words, lifestyle. A female from an orthodox background would prefer salwar suits, saris instead of westerns or short outfits. In India, parents expect their children to dress up in nice, colorful outfits during marriages, festivals, or other auspicious occasions. Here, the family members are framing the opinion of individual to buy a product. Then they are deciding the time also during which time they are to buy what. So, this is a very important factor where we have to see the opinion of the members of our family. Even if children want to buy something else, their parents would always prompt them to buy traditional attire, thus influencing their buying decision. The moment an individual enters into wedlock, his or her partner influences his buying decision to a great extent. In most families, wife accompanies her husband for shopping, be it grocery, home appliances, furnishings, car, etc. People give due weightage to the opinion of their wife while purchasing any product. So, this is the importance of family members in framing a particular behavior of the consumer regarding purchase of any product. Any individual would always discuss with his or partner before any major purchase. After marriage, individuals generally do not like spending on himself or herself, rather they do it for their partner or family, because their needs are now family focused instead of individual focused. A young bachelor would not mind spending on alcohol, attending night parties, but the moment he has a wife at home, he would instead spend on household and necessary items. No bachelor likes to invest money on mutual funds, insurance policies, mediclaims, etc. But for someone who is married, buying an investment plan becomes his first priority, because he is to see the future of his family and the family members. Women generally are inclined towards buying toiletries, perfumes, dresses, household items, furnishings, food products, while men would rather love to spend on gadgets, cars, bikes, alcohol, etc. Both have different tastes, but when they come together, they mutually decide on what to buy and what not to buy, because both can decide as they know their family income. They know what their surplus income is and how much that surplus income is, and the surplus income and its amount will decide what sort of product they are going to buy. Then they see their priorities also together, and finally they buy a particular product depending upon their taste, their priority and their surplus income. A bachelor would never purchase products meant for women, but when he has a wife at home, he would love to purchase them for his wife. A young girl who has never purchased shaving creams or men's perfume all through her life for herself would not mind purchasing for her husband, father or father-in-law. A working woman would have different needs as compared to housewife. A woman who goes to office would prompt her husband to buy formal trousers and shirt, office bag, makeup products, etc. for her, while a housewife would not like spending on all these items as she does not require an office bag and so on. Here we see that the working and non-working women and their requirements. Working women require different things. They require corporate uniforms, corporate dresses, whereas non-working women do not require any need of corporate suits. The children also influence the buying decision of individuals, and individuals spend happily on toys, candies, ice creams, chocolates, sweets when he has children at home. Children in the family prompt their parents to subscribe to TV channels meant for children, where the families which do not have any children, they will not subscribe to the TV channels meant for children. Similarly, the people who do not have old parents in their families, they will not subscribe to TV channels meant for old people. Individuals do not mind spending on medicines, health supplements, vitamin tablets, protein drinks if they have ailing parents at home. Now, we are going to discuss an important issue. What is status consumption and why it is important for marketers of premium goods? With the advent of globalization, marketers have had the opportunity to market to a global audience from many countries and cultures. Products are no longer the traditional goods and services, and instead the emphasis is on brand building and marketing brands as part of a comprehensive marketing effort to reach out to consumers. In this context, consumers consume products not only for their intrinsic value but also as status symbols, and these are supposed to confer perceived and notional benefits like increased social recognition and to move up the social ladder. These premium products, which are costly in nature, are meant for people of high income group. On one side, these are costly, only high income group people can afford the price of these products. And the other hand, these kind of people with high income, they want to have their social image at the top of the ladder. They want to keep their own image at the maximum at any level. They will buy the premium products, rather they will be known by the products which they are using. So, social image, social status plays an important role regarding the behavior of purchasing any product. The premium products are bought by only high income group people. Hence, the concept of status consumption as a process of consuming goods and services by status conscious consumers has gained traction in recent years. Though status consumption was always a trend, the fact that the advent of the global village with its mass manufactured vision of happiness has meant that brands and products that they represent can have uses other than the basic need gratification for which they are made. These premium products and the status consumption of these premium products by the status conscious people fulfills two requirements. One is their basic need is fulfilled, other is their lust for status is also fulfilled. Consumption motives. To start with, there are many definitions of status consumption. For the purposes of this discussion, the following definition would be relevant. Status consumption relates to the consumer's behavior of seeking to purchase goods and services for the status they confer, regardless of that consumer's objective income or social class. It is worth noting here that status consumption often involves expensive goods and services on special occasions and events rather than on a regular basis. It is understandable when we talk about manufactured products. Premium products are available. People normally ask what sort of services are available as premium services. The answer is very simple. For women, women go to beauty parlors. It is a premium service which they make use of. And similarly, men also goes to clubs, which is a premium service they make use of. So, these premium products are also available, premium services are also available. Only high income group and the status conscious people buy these products and buy these services. One reason for the proliferation of goods used as status symbols is because of the mass marketing techniques of marketers. Many products have become commodities and hence consumers have an innate desire to consume goods and services that are perceived to be superior in value. This is the need that astute marketers to tap into when marketing goods that they label as premium or exclusive. So, now we have understood the marketing of premium products as compared to normal products. To take this point a bit further, recent nomenclature in advertisements and marketing collateral for the so-called status products tends to highlight the exclusivity of a particular good or service and to connote that by consuming that good or service, the consumer is being conferred a special status in society. We have already discussed the premium product, status related products are consumed by only status conscious people. Our advertisement must satisfy these status conscious people and change their behavior regarding a particular product. So, viewers, today we discussed the consumer behavior in a broader spectrum and covered lot of aspects of consumer behavior, be it the role of psychological factors, role of family members in marketing, role of advertising, also in forming a particular consumer behavior. Thank you so much.
With this note, thank you, sir. Thank you so very much for giving us a productive session on consumer behavior once again. And dear friends, we would like to tell you all that we are going to conduct another session on marketing management very soon and would be discussing on new aspects of marketing management. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.